More tricks to go trail riding. Today on Performance TV, we customize some side-by-sides. Learn how to change a tire in the Outback. And upgrade a truck's tranny pan. All next.
Welcome to another edition of Performance TV, and I've always wanted to say that I got to blow Tommy's doors off.
No, we're gonna put doors on.
I
What are you talking about?
I know, but that's because, anyway, we have been having a lot of fun with doing some ATVs and UTVs and stuff like that. This product right here, got a chance to check them out, the doors. I didn't really think about having doors like this on one of these. And Tommy, this Trail Armor is pretty neat stuff.
I tell you what, we've got Andre here from Trail Armor. You make some really nice products, not only doors, but a lot of different products for UTVs, side-by-sides, all different makes and models.
We make doors. A-arm guard skid plates is one of our most sought-after products, along with the door line. We do tops, windshields, A-arm guards, doors.
You actually got started in this because you were running around in one of these.
As a kid, I was always accused of taking my toys apart and putting them back together. I couldn't leave anything alone.
I think we've all done that, right?
So, started building the parts. Some of the guys that I'd raced with and had friendships at the dealerships with said, hey, you guys really need to start making those. We could sell those.
Well, they're not only made by you in-house, but I'm sure they're tried and tested by you as well.
Oh, yeah. we give them a pretty good beating and banging.
Now, these doors we're going to put on today, they're not metal.
Yes, sir. They're a high-impact HDPE plastic.
Why plastic? Why over metal?
Well, it has no memory, and it takes a lot of abuse. It doesn't get bent to where it won't function. Metal door, you bend it, you've got a scrap door.
Right, then you have to put another one on.
No, and
Exactly.
plus you're out in the elements and you don't have to worry about rust or any of the corrosion as well.
I'm sure these things get a little abuse.
Yeah.
You know how to make a good door.
Well, we try.
All right, well, Kathy, we're not going to blow my doors off. We're going to put the doors on. So let's get started putting
It was
the
a
doors
fun thought anyway.
Yeah, doors off. Well, Andre, before we can install a door kit, we need to remove some of the factory items. So if you wouldn't mind, give me a hand. Show me what items I need to pull off of here so we can install the door kit.
Sure, Tommy. We're working with a new 2014 RZR from Polaris. We'll have to remove the side nets. The side bar needs to come off. We'll take the roll cage and get this loose and get the rest of those out of the way. Set the seat out of the way where we can get to it. You'll need to drop a couple of screws out of the rear A-arm.
Yeah, just so I can pull that fender
Yeah,
out.
just to give it a little bit of slack, and you're going to take the nut off the back side of the seat belt bracket.
Okay, and move the seat belt out of the way, and then we'll get the hinges installed in here for the door.
Sure, get the hanger bracket on the back side for the door to hang to.
All right, while I start tearing some stuff apart, why don't you give Kathy a hand with the hinges and get
Good
the door
deal.
Okay, Andre, we're gonna go ahead and get these hinges put on that Tommy was mentioning here. Now, there's something that we want to keep in mind on the hinge.
The hinge will go on the inside of the door with the screws to the outside.
So we kind of want to show that's
Yeah.
the side that we want it to go toward the door.
Right.
And we have a couple of different lengths on our bolts here too. The shorter ones are the ones we're going to use just on the door, because when we go to put the hinges and everything over here on our little vehicle, we were going to be going through the hinge, the door, and our mounting brackets too. So we want to set those aside, and these are what we're going to use. Now, I noticed I was kind of messing around with it earlier, and that's not going to push right through there, and we don't want anybody to freak out as to why they're not able to get it through there.
Right, Kathy. We'd leave those just a little bit underside so that bolt will actually thread in to help you control the install.
I'm going to let you hold that up there for me a moment.
Go ahead and run it on through where we can get the nut on.
All right.
Cool.
Okay, let me get both of these done. Now, do we want these to be completely tight before we put them on?
No, I would leave them loose. They're nylock nuts, and you're not going to be able to screw them completely down.
Okay.
So just get them started down to the nylock, and that'll leave the hinge. You're basically just doing a pre-assembly where the door is easier to hang.
All right. Make sure I put the correct side the right direction. Ready?
Come on.
There we go. All right, Andre, got the door flipped over here. We have our 3 bolts put through. Now, it's in the instructions. We've already got this put on here. This would just be a real quick 2 bolts for folks to assemble on the door handle here. But we've already got it done, so we are going to slide this over. We probably don't want to tighten this all the way up yet, do we?
No, we can leave it loose for now.
Okay.
To get it hung and adjust and fasten everything together to last.
Well, while we go ahead and get this finished bolted up here, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're getting a little bit closer to hanging this door.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by Low Carb Performance Products, is being brought to you by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener. B&M, quality performance products that work. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
Welcome back to Performance TV. Now, Andre, I'm pretty good at tearing things apart. As you can see, I've taken the sidebar off, the seat out of it, the netting, and got everything loose, got the seatbelt out of the way. Now, there's a trick. You can't let that seatbelt go up and retract when you undo it.
Exactly, Tommy.
I know it's a little tough to get it back out of there, so that's a tip, everybody. Don't let that retract when you take it off. But now it's time to put things in here. This is the hanger bracket for the hinge.
That's the hinge hanger bracket, and it
Bolts right in.
bolts right in.
No welding tabs, no nothing. Everything's going to bolt in on a factory location.
Everything's a 3-bolt application on this.
So right in there.
Yeah.
Like that. All right. The bolts I took out, we're going to put right back in. Once we get these back in and get them tight, then I just got to mount the seat belt back in its place.
All right, Tommy, go ahead and start your seatbelt bolt at the bottom just as soon as you get a little tension on those.
All right.
And that'll ease alignment. Be careful, don't let that thing get away from you.
Now, Andre, I got the hinge bracket in, seat belts are back tight. Now I got to put the striker mount.
For the door to close against, we've already pre-assembled the striker pin itself into it.
And we're going to put it right back in the
Yeah,
stock
you're going to need
location.
this, Tommy, because each of these cages have somewhat a little bit of pressure on them.
Yeah, just get it lined up.
Unless you got a big brute to help you, just get one
I
bolt
do, right
started. Yeah, but I'm not that.
All right.
And then start your alignment, push.
I'm down with that punch. There you go. There we go. All right. Well, I'll finish this up. You and Kathy go ahead and put the back piece on.
Okay, looks like we're ready for the door to actually get assembled here. So we already have our screws started here, and this is the same principle as we had on our door.
Exactly.
We're gonna need to go ahead and run them in because they're done a little bit tight. But there is a trick to this too, Andre.
Yeah, you want to slide it down into place and go ahead and hold and run your screws in to the bracket.
All right.
All right, go ahead and get the others.
Okay, we have those in, Andre, so we're gonna stick this one in up here.
Tell me when you got it.
I got it.
All right, that's good.
Okay, have to tighten it all down just yet.
Right.
Now we're ready to hang this door.
You just slide it in and slip it right over those bolts you just put in, right?
Correct.
Now, how much adjustment is there involved in getting it to fit right?
It does have some slot adjustment, and you can pick it up a little bit or push down as you tighten.
And of course, we haven't messed with the handle or anything.
Right, no, it's just pre-hung is all we've done with it.
You guys left this loose.
Right,
Yep.
right,
We can have an adjustment up here. Perfect.
right.
Man, that is looking great. I'll let you guys finish that up. We're gonna do another project.
All right, shut this thing up here. We got to get the latch adjustment.
All right, Tommy, it's gonna have a little pressure on it until it'll learn its closure. That keeps it from rattling.
Yeah, and all I got to do is finish these
Yeah,
adjustments. and all
align your
that.
latch and finish it up.
All right, while I do that, why don't you guys move on to the next project, but I'll get the seat back in it and get this all finished up so we can do some graphics.
Good deal.
Well, now Tommy's getting all that put back together. We need a windshield on this thing, and you guys have a Cool Flow windshield that is really something else, especially with these clamps that you just came out with.
Yeah, Kathy, those are our new quick clamps. They're of adjustment, snap right on the cage. Has the stud already in it for the screws. We've pre-assembled the other windshield. The windshield assembly, you basically push in your rubber grommets. Has an insert that goes in the rubber grommet. The screw goes through. You take your fast clamp, 6mm bolt. Give him a tighten. Do not over tighten it so that it breaks the windshield.
Exactly.
Okay, we're ready to go to the vehicle.
Yeah, if you thought that was fast, wait till you see how fast it goes on. Okay, gonna get this right on here. Snap. Those adjust too, I see.
Well, they're designed for 1 3/4 to 1.5 inches.
Okay, now we're gonna put in one of the most important parts here, what really makes it cool.
Yeah, this is the bottom part that comes off so you can stow it to get airflow, but yet you put it on, you get a full windshield. The coolest thing about this is on a lot of models, the cage is the same in different places, that you can actually pull this off and stow it to the back of the cage or to the top of the cage.
And it's DOT approved and it's stamped right inside there.
That's right.
Something else we're looking at on here, cool graphics. Tommy, I know you've got some for the door.
Not only did you get the door and you can put doors on this, but it comes with complete graphics. They build them all in-house to match the paint scheme of what model you're putting the door on. They come with pre-cut holes in them, and it's pretty simple to put on, and it'll match. When we get done, this thing, you'll never know this door wasn't factory and came that way. It's a pretty neat deal. I like this. They come complete with everything. Not only the nuts, the bolts, and everything to put the doors on, but when you're done, they're going to look good too. We'll be right back with more Performance TV.
This week's ARP quarter-mile quiz question comes from Gene in Washington. Gene wants to know, how much fuel does a funny car use on one run? Here's NHRA funny car driver Courtney Force with the answer.
We burn about 12 gallons of fuel on a run.
If you have a question for the ARP quarter-mile quiz, send it to the address on the screen. If we use your question on the air, you'll receive a free ARP quarter-mile quiz shirt. Performance TV, presented by Lokar Performance Products, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Performance TV. If you've had any kind of vehicle at all, there's been one point where you probably had a flat tire or wanted to change tires. You're out in the middle of nowhere and you got a flat tire. How do you get that tire off the bead? Well, I'm here with Lucas from Bead Buster today. You've brought a couple examples of bead breakers that, they're okay. They probably don't work the best. This machine here, that's back at your shop. It's a long ways away.
Yeah, I've got a couple ATV bead breakers here. This one we call the shoe and lever mechanism. You can get this from the Discount Overseas Freight Company. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a shoe here that will push down on the sidewall right next to the bead. And you have to adjust it if you have a smaller or bigger tire. And as you can see, we have to bolt it down to something, either your shop floor. This is not something that comes with you on your group ride. And what you do is you push down on the lever. Now, sometimes this works if a tire's been changed a couple times.
Yeah, it's not set on there really hard.
And it's okay for trailer tires, but for ATV tires, they usually put up a pretty big fight, and it doesn't work so well.
Yeah, so it can cause some damage. It's not portable. There is a portable option. There's some out there. But what's the issues you see with this machine here?
This is what we call the plier style tool. And as you can see, there's these teeth right here that separate, like a pair of pliers opening the reverse direction. You have to adjust this for the size of your rim.
Got to adjust it again, right.
Here we got it already set up for this particular one. And you hook the one side.
I see already, I don't like this. It's going over my rim.
That's right, there's metal on metal contact. You know, this is an old beat up rim, but part of that,
if it's a brand new rim, you surely don't want to be doing this.
Probably from this bead breaker. And you have to position yourself on top and sort of step on it and force
and hope you don't fall over while you're trying to do it.
A bit of a balancing act, and you get the teeth up underneath the lip of the rim, and then you push on the other lever. And sometimes it comes down. This one, it seemed to come down pretty easy, but there's some. But
once again, you're scratching it over here on this side as well.
Oh yeah, we have metal on metal contact right there as well. And some ATV beads put up a pretty heavy fight, and even this won't work, and the teeth will slide down the sidewall, damaging both the tire and the rim.
There's got to be a better option. I mean, Kathy, is there a better option?
There absolutely is, Tommy. You know what, that last one you were just showing over there, I wouldn't want that to come near anything that I owned. But this Bead Blaster XB450, look how small this is, compact. We could have this with us in any of our vehicles, whether we're out on the trail. We've got it back up at the trailhead. We've got it in our race trailer. You've got it at home in your garage. This is amazing. And when you've got to stop and think about all of the different wheel types that you're using, what is this little ridge right here? Now, this is something that I know that we can run into a problem using some of the other Bead Busters.
Well, Kathy, the thing that makes it so challenging to change the ATV tires or side-by-side tires is this ridge that's built into the rim. This retains the bead up in here, so that in case you get a flat tire, it'll stop the sidewalls from collapsing into the center.
Sure.
And you can end up with an unsafe condition where the tire is wobbling around all over the place. And so because this is doing such a good job of holding that bead in there, it makes it very, very difficult for some of the standard tools.
Using some of the other ones, they're going to dig right into that.
That's right. However, with this tool, it clamps on, and this foot extends back towards the bead like that and puts the force exactly where you need it.
And that looks like that has been measured just perfectly right. It goes right over the top of that.
It's designed to go exactly with these rims, and so it won't ever cause any damage.
We like that, yeah, because you know what? These rims are not cheap.
Yeah, this one was very expensive, so we don't want to mess it up.
Right, no matter whether it's a rim like this or you've got something like we have here off of the ATV, but still you don't want to tear things up. And you want the job to be easy, and all you need is this, and you're going to show us how this is done really quick here.
Let's do it. First, I'll take a little bit of this soapy water, and we'll put this on the tire right here, and this helps the feet slide down in to the exact position that we want them at. So we start the feet in like that, then we take our tool, and you could use a cordless impact, a hand wrench, a ratchet, and we tighten up the clamp until the tool is vertical.
Yeah, because it looks like you would want to make sure that it was definitely straight up and down.
We've got a reinforced rubber bumper on here that prevents any scratches or damage to the rim. And then the thing that really makes it so powerful is the mechanical advantage that we get from having threads here. We take that mechanical advantage, convert that into a force that goes right onto this ram, which is pushing directly onto that bead.
Right, and that's when we're going to see, of course, that it is going to go right past our ridge that we have down in there, as you were demonstrating on the other wheel over here. And the way that we have it nice and flat, unlike seeing some of the other ones over there that may slide off, this isn't going to slide off on us.
All right, so let's go ahead and break the bead up. It's that easy.
Simple as that.
And you can see right in here, it has pushed it right over this little safety ridge in there, so it's no problem, it's released. Now, if you have a really stubborn tire that's been on there for years and years and it's almost frozen on or welded, you might have to move it once or twice to a couple different locations.
Sure, but you know, when I take a look down in there, it never touched the ridge or anything, it just went right past it. Now, if folks wanted to find out more about how they could get one of these, or, you know, as small and nice and convenient, or maybe a couple of them, how could they find out more?
You go to beadbuster.com. You can get all the information you want. We've got pricing available at $99. You can get these online, no problem. Shipping is cheap and quick.
All right. Like I said, just check them out at beadbuster.com, and we'll have more coming up on Performance TV next.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by Lokar Performance Products, is being brought to you by Savant Manufacturing, made in the USA. Exado, extending the life of your vehicles and equipment. And by Trail Armor, armor up and venture out.
Welcome back to Performance TV. And as you can see, Tommy over here is already getting our tranny fluid drained out for our next project. What we're going to do is we're hoping to add some extra life to the transmission and converter on this 2000 F250 by adding a nice new tranny pan, extra capacity from the folks at B&M Racing and Performance Products. Now, this transmission pan, it has drain plug already installed in it, but something that we kind of noticed over here, and Tommy's been able to take advantage of, most production vehicles nowadays don't have a drain plug in them, and you just have to take the pan off and kind of deal with it, but we're lucky that this one does back here. For you guys at home that are going to be installing something like this, the addition of a drain plug, if you didn't have one, man, that saves a whole lot of headache of installing this. Comes with a brand new gasket and all of the hardware here that we need to put it in, and I say we go ahead, get this pan changed.
All right, Kathy, I got the oil drained out of the old pan. Nice to have that drain plug in there.
Yeah.
So when you pull it down, it doesn't splash all over you.
Drip everywhere.
All we got to do now is just pull these bolts out. This is a pretty easy install. I mean, you really don't even have to be a mechanic to be able to do this. You can take some bolts out and put some new bolts in, you're probably good to go.
Yeah, there are a few directions here and there that you want to make sure that you read, but other than that, it is pretty simple. We're not going to reuse these bolts. The B&M kit actually came with all new bolts.
Yeah, it comes with all the hardware, drain plugs, new gasket, new bolts, washers, everything you need to install. I'll have you hold this just in case it decides to come down when I get the last bolt out, but I'm sure we'll have to
pry it off there.
Yeah. I don't see any leaks up here, so.
Nope.
Looks like it's been good and sealed.
And that looks like that's it.
Oh, nice, look at that.
Now that Tommy has the old pan out, one of the things that you would want to do no matter what, hey, you got the pan off, we're going to put new fluid in, is you would want to change your tranny fluid filter. In this case, it's going to be a necessity because with the different shape of the pan, with our new B&M, this filter is actually held in. By it sitting in the bottom of the pan. And if you weren't to change the filter and put in the one that they give you the part number for in the B&M instructions, well, you'd probably hit a bump and be losing your filter real quick. There goes your tranny and converter. Went ahead, we've got our gasket on here with a little bit of sealer to kind of hold it in place. And Tommy, are you ready to put this new pan on?
I'm ready.
Slide it on under here.
All right. First of all, we got to put the new filter in here. And it doesn't bolt in or anything, it just slides in. It's got a little rubber seal on it, all the way in, nice and tight. All right, Kathy, let's slide this new pan up there, put some bolts in it. All right.
There we go.
Go ahead and start. Whoop.
There we go.
Once we get all these bolts in there, to put a 10 foot-pounds of torque on them.
Okay.
That'll keep you from over-tightening. It'll smash the gasket. Last thing you want to do is put a nice pretty pan on here and let it leak.
Yep, once we get all those torqued, we'll go ahead and start putting some tranny fluid in it.
Well, we're going to put the drain plug in it first.
Yeah, you might want to do that, which is a magnetic one too.
It also has a outlet on the side, so you can install a cooler or something like that, put it on the side.
All right, Tommy, you get those torqued. What was that again?
10 foot-pounds.
10 foot-pounds. And I'm going to put the plug in on the side over here, which, as you mentioned earlier, hey, if you did want to add an external tranny cooler, which isn't a bad idea, go in right here. And our magnetic drain plug. Okay, the next thing we need to do, go ahead and get our fluid in here. Now, it's recommended that we start off by putting in 7 quarts, which Tommy is doing back here.
Or he's trying to.
Once we get our 7 quarts in, we're gonna hop in, we're gonna fire her up, put her in neutral. We're gonna go ahead and add more until it gets up to the add mark on the dipstick. You got it?
Yep.
At that point in time, we'll go ahead and run it all through the gears. We'll get underneath the truck, make sure that we don't have any leaks anywhere, and then we'll go ahead and fill it up to the full mark. And this project is done.
Yeah, like the drain plug isn't tight or something.
Yeah, like the drain plug isn't tight. Yeah, like
We'll put that in.
I know that's tight. And we hope you'll join us again next week on Performance TV.